This episode of Pretty Not Smart is brought to you by Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies Little Snugglers, now with blowout protection in every direction. Sizes 1 through 2. Huggies, we got you, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Pretty Not Smart with your host, Louie, aka the baddest perra.
And Yoatzi.
Where if you're not subscribed, you're definitely pretty, not smart.
So if you want to be both, you better subscribe it.
Yay! And also just shout out to all of our other girls who are listening to us on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on anything that you're listening to us. Thank you guys so much, and we really appreciate it. Yes.
Give yourself a little pat in the back, a little hug, kiss, make out with yourself real quick.
On the mirror.
Like, damn, I'm pretty and smart.
I know. They're like, when do we get to graduate from Pretty Not Smart University?
Oh, we're gonna do that, guys.
That'd be really cute. But we're back again. And I'm actually back again because I just came back from a long-ass 3-month trip.
He left me for a year.
It felt like a whole year.
I was like so lonely. I didn't have a friend.
Yoatzi had a whole nother baby while I was gone. I just can imagine.
Absolutely not.
Like
knock on wood. Fuck.
Like,
no. Knock on wood.
I'm like, definitely knock on wood for that one. I'm just kidding. But I'm really excited to catch up, obviously, with Yoatzi.
We haven't talked. I try to avoid him. I'm like, don't talk to me because I want to hear all the tea on the podcast.
Isn't it funny how we do that? There's so many things that I want to ask Yoatzi in real life, but I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for
the podcast. Yeah.
Just before we started filming, I was like, let me see if I can get a little insight. So I was like, is there any updates with what was happening with your neighbor? She was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. But if she would have said yes, I would have been like, hold it for the podcast.
Yeah, or
it was too much shit to say.
I know. Or I would have been like, hold it for the podcast.
Yeah, I feel like we do that when we'll come in and we'll ask something. We're like, wait for the podcast.
Hold on. Let's talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, so this is going to be our little catch-up, regroup moment.
Yeah, so you guys honestly should feel really special because you're entering our sibling conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not all of it.
I know, there's still something else.
There's still some tea we have. But for the most part, you guys are listening in on our Chisme.
Yeah, these are our catch-up regroup session.
They're our third sibling.
I know, huh?
Besides Andrea,
we all replaced Andrea.
They're like, a ver, what was happening today?
Well, before we fully dive in, we are going to go into the dumbass word of the day with the dumbass.
You're just smiling at us? Vas a ver.
I always forget what we call this segment. Is it dumbass word of the day?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not a dumbass. Fuck you guys.
He's like, you guys are.
When he gets to he just cusses us out.
I know.
He's
like, the word is dumbass.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Bitch, the amount of times that Adam will say that, I'm like, really? Just because we remember that.
Okay, this word is, sorry if I say it wrong.
Okay.
Glockenspiel.
What is up with all these words, man?
Glockenspiel?
This one, I'm only picking this one.
Evil Incorporated.
Because Louie texted me on Father's Day saying Happy Father's Day, and I said thank you, and I typed it too fast, and it auto-corrected to Glockenspiel.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
I
don't know. I was like, what the? I was like, I don't know why it sent that.
He was like,
I was like, thank you.
He was like, sorry for the reply, Glockenspiel. And I was like, what? Sounds like he's drunk. But then he was like, wait, I have no idea what that was. I was like, okay.
Glockenspiel?
Glockenspiel.
Oh, Glockenspiel.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Is it English?
Yeah.
Because if it's not English, then you're not pretty.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What?
If it's not English, it's not valid.
You guys want me to find the root word of it? What the?
Well, you just have to use it as...
Oh, she said, is it English?
Well, do you use it in English world?
It is, okay.
Me.
Sometimes when you listen to music,
Uh-huh.
there are some musicians that use a glockenspiel.
Oh, so it's an instrument?
Oh, a Glockenspiel.
Is it like an instrument that you hold, or is it something like that
It's
you do
on
the
a
computer?
table.
I know what it is.
What?
Like the xylophone. But like
Yes.
the one that's like...
Wait, no, what?
Oh, wait.
What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Never mind.
So, a xylophone. I know. I was like, what is
It's
a
because you know how
xylophone?
the xylophone is a ding, 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 ding. Like
oh,
when
yeah,
you,
it's like that, but why'd you go?
Yeah, that's on one other
because
instrument.
there's
Those are
some
those
that
are
is like
way
a
off.
table is like a table too, like a xylophone.
Uh-huh.
But instead of like ling ling ling, you're like or you press the buttons and it's like
I'm like, I lost so many brain cells right now.
Okay, so you're right with the xylophone.
okay.
But a glockenspiel
Uh-huh.
is a musical percussion instrument having a set of tuned metal pieces mounted in a frame and struck with small hammers.
That's what I said.
No, it doesn't sound like that, like at all.
Never mind.
It's more like
Like I checked out. I have no idea what we're talking about. Well, I actually, when you first said it, I thought it was like a body part, a glockenspiel. It was like the spiel
Glockenspiel.
kind of reminded me of like a spleen.
A spleen?
Or
You mean your shin?
Your shin? A spleen is like in your stomach.
Yeah, I got my spleen removed once.
I'm over it.
But glockenspiel, I thought it was like a cheese, like a block of cheese.
Oh,
okay, but me sending it to him when I saw glockenspiel, I know the word glock is like a
gun.
pew pew.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why would it send that? And I was like,
Yeah.
no, Apple doesn't like autocorrect to like inappropriate
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
So I was like, it can't be that. So I looked it up and I'm like, huh. I was like, why the
It's like the biggest, randomest word ever that I corrected it to.
glockenspiel?
Okay, well, if anybody has ever used a Glockenspiel, please let us know. I genuinely
A
want to know if
Glockenspiel.
you've ever used that instrument. Hit us up, girl.
Oh, that's not what I imagined. Never
He's like, you're way
mind.
off.
Yeah. It's because there's an instrument. If I ever find it, I'll let you guys know. No.
I feel like I've seen that.
All right. Who's hopping into the Chisme first? What's going on?
Well, I don't know. Should I go first or do you want to go first?
Maybe I can go first to get it over with because mine's like short.
She said she had like a scary story.
I was telling Louie,
Okay.
I feel like scary stuff keep happening to me.
Like phantasmas?
Two things. Scary.
What?
Okay. So, you know how we have our home gym?
Uh-huh.
If you follow me on Snapchat, what, fool?
I know. He's like,
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. And you don't check my Snapchat, so that's what you get.
okay.
So my Snapchat followers saw this in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in my little home gym and I started recording like, oh, come with me to my little gym and I'm going to start my workout. And I just like set my phone in one of the mirrors. And as I'm like about to talk, in the black wall behind me, there's a fucking cara, like a face.
Ew.
And I've never seen it before, right? So I was like, ew, what the fuck? And I'm like in real time and I was like, am I tripping or is that a face? And I'm like tripping out and I'm like staring at it and I kind of like pose like it and I outline it for everybody. I'm like, tell me this is not a fucking face. I waited a little bit to see replies and everybody was like, dude, what the fuck? It's a fucking face. I'll
Like-
show you the picture.
Like if somebody like hit themselves and it's like dust?
Nah.
Or like I'm so confused. Or is it like the wall
It's
texture?
a big ass fucking head like this big. It almost looks like dirt created a face. Like
What?
dust. And I was like, ew. And I was like, I don't like that. Like, that looks fucking weird as shit. And then what creeped me out more was that somebody was like, hey, be careful. It's Friday the 13th.
On the day that you saw
It was Friday the 13th that day. And I was like, wait, I don't like that. And
Yeah.
let me see if I could pull up the picture. But it was really scary.
Hey, and that was after you guys cleaned, so maybe whatever was in there was like mad that you guys were cleaning. Like, no.
I just didn't.
But all of the mugre.
I just did not like that at
I
all.
want to know how like clear it looked.
Well, clear enough for people,
For you to notice too as
Yeah.
you're filming.
for people to be like, hey,
That's scary.
it's
gone.
not here. Wait, no, seriously, it's not here. Hey.
It all went through your phone. I was like,
No, I promise I screenshotted, save it, hearted, and everything so I could show you today. Louis deleted it.
Bitch. If not,
Huh?
make sure you save it.
Huh? Oh, yeah, in the meantime, tell him about that too. Fuck that shit.
Oh, what?
I'm moving. I'm moving my house.
Okay.
Scared.
So while Yoatzi's looking for the picture, in our neighborhood, we had a few friends come over to work out where my friend and I are training the kids, the
Mhm.
boys, some boxing like techniques and stuff. When everyone was done, everybody went into the house and it was just me and my friend Achilles outside in our garage or
Mhm.
in my garage. And we're just talking, catching up. And we hear a female scream at the top of her lungs like she's getting abducted or kidnapped or something. Me and him
What time was
stopped.
it?
It was during the day.
Oh, okay.
Me and him stopped me and him stopped. We stopped talking. We step outside and we're like, and like I thought maybe I was just tripping, but my friend Achilles, he doesn't mess with that. So he like ran outside. He's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
We're like looking around. We're like, and then me and him look at each other like in like distraught. And we're like, did that really just happen or are we tripping? We go inside and talk to the girls. Like, did you guys hear that screaming? And then everyone's like, no, it was just the kids inside. I'm like, no, it was a girl screaming outside like she was getting kidnapped. And we're like, dude, that's fucking weird. And a few days prior to that, Travis was playing outside in the backyard. If you guys don't know our backyard, I built like a little playground set. And Travis said he was playing on top of the playground set and he heard someone screaming. He came to me. He's like, hey, man, I just heard someone screaming. I was like, oh, they're probably just playing.
Yeah.
Like, no, it sounded like they were scared. And I was like,
ew.
What? I was like, okay. So I brought it up with Achilles and he's like, nah, fuck that. We step outside. We look down the street and there's a neighbor coming out of her house. And she's like, but she's the one talking to a guy. She goes, if you're going to scream at me like that, like, I'm not going to fucking play with this shit. And we're like, what the fuck? We're like, was it them? And Achilles like, no, it has to be them. And I was like, maybe. But in my head, I'm like, it didn't sound like a guy screaming. It sounded like a girl screaming. And it didn't sound like an argument. It sounded like someone was
like help,
like afraid. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, whatever. Maybe it was them. I gave that situation the benefit of the doubt that it was that house. I'm working out. And if you guys saw my TikTok, I did a cold plunge.
Oh, I saw that.
I was setting it up. And in the middle of me setting it up, I didn't get it recorded because I stopped recording. I heard the same scream.
Ew.
And I was like,
third.
Yes, the third time I heard it. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I like stopped what I was doing. I walk outside. I'm like, am I going to hear it again? It sounded like it was, there's like a few streets that like of houses in our neighborhood. And it sounded like the one like right next to us. So that's how close it was. But I was in the garage. So when you're in a garage and you hear sound, you don't know what direction it's coming from. You just know you hear it. So I step outside and I try to hear for it again. Nothing. It just went completely silent.
What if my neighbor, like all bullshit aside, what if my neighborhood's haunted?
I'm not kidding. I get a really eerie feeling when I go to your
Ay, ¿por qué no me dijiste antes de comprar la casa?
Oh, I didn't get to see it.
Ay, no mames.
Your neighborhood's scary. And then once you guys told me what's happened there, I got even more scared.
I don't know if you guys have tuned into our spooky episodes, but if you haven't, go back and watch all our spooky episodes because they're super good. But in one of them, because it was around that time, I talked about how I went for like a little late night run when I was doing 75 hard. And on like the intersection of one of the streets, there was a fucking goblin. Remember the goblin?
Well, not literally a goblin, but like what looked like to her.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking like just, I still remember the little hand. It was like a short little thing, just like a dark shadow, just like staring at me.
That was your neighbor. Just kidding.
Bitch. And I remember telling one of my friends about it, and she said that used to be all like farmland before the houses, obviously. So my friend was like, oh, maybe it's like a burial ground, or like maybe, you know, like farmers died there before and like now it's haunted.
Well, there's more as to why it could be haunted, but it's really scary.
But oh, look, I found the face. It looks a little blurry because for whatever reason it's pixelated.
Hey, but even whether it's haunted or not haunted, as long as they don't do anything to y'all, you're all good.
Look, tell me that's not a face.
Throw it to me. Cause even just the scream in general, like I feel like
that's creepy. Man.
Okay, at first I was gonna be like, you heard it once, like, babe, what if it was somebody actually getting abducted and like whatever? But now that you're saying that Travis said he's heard something like that, it's like, okay, man, that's a little scary. And then you heard it again. I'm like, okay, that's not like someone's getting abducted every day. All right. No, but it's just like,
bitch.
Okay, like that's a little pattern.
I'm going to be listing my house if anybody wants to buy it because I will not be living there anymore.
I don't really see it.
Look, move the little thing on the bottom. Look at the back. I'm telling you, it's because it looks pixelated.
Like, okay, I want to.
Like this, look.
I bet, hold on. Is this an eye right here?
Yes, look, you can clearly see it. Yes.
Okay, I was
and
like,
the nose.
It's because I was thinking more of like a human face, but this looks almost like
an abuelo.
Monstrous.
Oh.
So look, it's like two eyes, right?
Yeah,
and
two
then
eyes.
It almost looks like a skull or like a fish.
That's what I said. Okay, that's what I said when I was on the Snapchat. I was like, you guys, tell me this isn't a face or it looks like a skull.
Almost looks like someone with a mouth open, like.
It looks like a skull. I didn't like that. Show Alex. Look at Alex all spooked.
I know.
Show Alex. It's literally on our back wall.
Oh, wait. The more that it moves, okay, like it looks different.
It gets like clearer, no?
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Now I see. The more that you change the lighting, I'm like, oh wait, now I can see. It looks. I'm gonna
post it on the Pretty Not Smart Instagram so you guys can see it.
Yeah. Or may I put a screenshot on the video?
Yes, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you guys, that was scary. Hopefully, like, the
No, you
insert
guys
is here
can't
so you
see
guys
it
can
from
see it.
here, but
No, they'll do a little insert moment.
yeah, we'll show you guys.
That's scary.
And let me tell you the other one.
Bitch, so there's a third.
Well, that was his story.
I'm
Mine.
leaving.
This one's a little like quien sabe, it's up in the air. We'll see.
Mhm.
But okay, so I went on the walk with the kids, and there was a cat acostado in the little brick wall that we were walking by.
Uh-huh.
There was a cat just like todo stretched out, and I was like, oh my god, it looks so cute. So I was like, that is super fucking cute, and it looks like Jasper, my sister's cat. So give my phone back because I need to show him. I started taking pictures of the cat, and I was like, oh my god, qué bonito gatito, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, let me send my mom a picture.
It had two heads. Imagine.
It looks creepier the more I look at it.
Wow, what could be wrong with the cat?
Okay, you guys. So I sent my mom the picture, and my mom replies to me, and she's like, "Ay, qué bonito gatito," and she was like, "Polla?" with like question marks and the little like spook's face, and I was like, "¿Qué pasó, mami?" She sends me a screenshot, and she was like, "Alguien te está mirando por la ventana."
Ew, stupida. Not my mom, Yoatzi. I'm like,
grab it, bitch.
I don't want to look. I kind of got a glimpse.
Me dio escalofrío.
Ew, what is that?
I don't know. Bitch, I'm getting goosebumps all over again. I don't like that picture.
Okay. It's because it's not a real human there.
It looks fucking creepy.
It just looks like it's made out through the glass.
And then look at what I replied to my mom. I was just like, es la sombra, mami, or some shit like
Es el
that.
reflejo, ¿no? She's like, yo creo, miedosa.
But I got fucking scared, you guys, because I was like, when my mom sent me the screenshot, I got goosebumps. And you know what? Oh, I need to listen to my fucking gut. Hijo de su chingada
Here,
madre.
you're gonna post all of these on Pretty Not Smart so people can like zoom in and stuff.
Yes, I'm mad because I didn't listen to my gut. When I was taking pictures of the fucking cat, there's the windows in the back, and I was like, imagine I see something in the window. Like, that's the thought that went in my brain. But I was like, nah, that's fucking stupid. So I just kept taking pictures and pictures. I never looked at the pictures immediately as we were still walking. I sent them to my mom. So I never saw them again until my mom was like, oh, yeah?
Scary.
Yeah.
Oh, and the way that my mom saw it too.
So yeah, that's my life. I'm always getting spooked.
Yeah, it's a lot of scary things.
I hate it.
I want to bounce off what you just said about listening to your gut. I feel like I've had a lot of instances recently where I've wanted to just listen to my gut more. Where I feel like I'm just like, I need to stop going against my gut. Like there was something that happened to me recently that I don't want to talk about just yet. But something that happened to me really recent that I was like, I had this huge gut feeling. And I don't understand where it came from at all. Nothing caused it. Something was just like, don't go. So I was just like, but then part of me was just like, I'm just gonna go. Like I'm just being lazy. Like part of me was like, I'm gonna be lazy. And at the end of everything, I was like, fuck, I should have just listened to my gut. And there's so many instances where that happens where like you just have a random ass gut feeling. And it could be something so simple as like, I don't know, like you said, like I had something in the window or some shit like that. Or like maybe I shouldn't go on that walk. Or like just little things like that where I'm just like, you know what? I need to start listening to my gut more often because I feel like every time I have a feeling and I go against it, something happens. And I'm like, I should have just listened to my gut. But also, I think in the last episode or 2 episodes ago, we talked about how when we say something, it happens.
Oh, yes.
Somebody in the comments commented, and it caught my attention. It said that, I don't know if, I mean, this one was more specific towards me, but I feel like you guys experience it too. But somebody was saying that part of me having like my little birthmark right here and speaking those things out loud, that it makes it happen.
Yeah.
Something with it about like the whole manifesting and it being, or us believing in manifestation and then saying things out loud, it's just like bound to happen.
Okay, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich.
No, so it was so random because I've explained this to Fern so many times. How I tell him, I'm like, every time like I think about someone or they randomly pop up in my head, like they either text me or they come up. Remember that was the whole conversation we had?
Yes.
So I had just had a conversation with Booty about our gym and how there's these one people that I used to, like this group of people that are super nice to me. I met them at the gym and we always have conversations when we're there. but I hadn't seen him in a long ass time. And
the
our
one
gym.
we go to.
Yeah, so me and Booty were going to the gym, and I was just like, babe, we haven't seen him forever. I was like, those like people that I always say hi to. I was like, I haven't seen him in I don't know how long. Bitch, tell me why the fuck we go to the gym that night and I see them.
No way.
And they're like, hey, and I was like, I got
That's
really
so
spooked because I hadn't seen him
creepy.
in so long. And the one time that I decided to think about them,
Bien
random.
random.
Nothing about my day was like, oh, those people. It just popped up in my head. And I told Fern, I was like, babe, I haven't seen him in a long ass time. He's like, oh yeah, we haven't. And I saw them and I literally got so spooked that I told them, I was like, this is really weird, but I was just talking about y'all. And they were like, "Bitch." I was just saying how I haven't seen you guys in forever. And then we just had a combo, but I was like,
That's weird.
I told Fern right after, I was like, I fucking told you. I was like, every time I say something about someone, they'll
It
pop
happens.
up. Yeah, and I was like,
You know who else I just asked Alex about? I haven't seen them, but we'll see because I might go to the gym today.
they're right here.
No, the pelon.
Which one of the 5?
There's 5. The one.
Oh, the one and only?
The one and only.
Oh, okay. You
That
haven't?
pelon. What's because I haven't
you
gone,
haven't,
right?
because I was going to say, I see him all the time.
Right. So I told Alex and I was like, hey, what happened to the balloon? And I told Alex about it. And then he's like, oh, they're still there. And I was like, well, I haven't seen them in a long time. And then he said the same thing. He's like, well, you haven't gone. I was like, true.
Yeah, there's
So
like
if
5
I go and I see the pelon, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I feel like since you've gone, there's like 10 more.
That's a bunch of little baldies everywhere.
Me, including me.
Like, Louie?
Me and Don Louie.
Two little pelones.
The last time que yo estaba enferma, I was down so bad that I started Googling like all of my symptoms. But I feel like that's the worst thing that we can do when we're sick.
Literally.
Because then you just get scared. I literally Googled and TikTok like my symptoms. And it gave me the scariest things ever.
I know.
It's just like that rabbit hole that you go down of like getting scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, estuvo. It's time we get the help and care we need from ZocDoc.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
I love that on ZocDoc, you can filter for doctors that take your insurance and are nearby. So you're not playing a guessing game of who takes it and who doesn't. You're not scrambling all over the place. It makes it facilito.
And once you find the doctor that you like, you can actually look at their appointment openings, and sometimes you can even score same-day appointments.
And appointments made through ZocDoc typically happen rapidito within 24 to 72 hours.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/prettynotsmart to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/prettynotsmart. ZocDoc.com/prettynotsmart.
This episode of Pretty Not Smart is brought to you by Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies is the only leading brand with all-around blowout protection for sizes 1 and 2. I love that when I'm going to go out for like a long day, I know that as long as I have my Huggies Little Snugglers, I do not have to worry about any blowouts or, all that little poo-poo getting on Dante's clothes, because that is a nightmare. All my parents out there know that there is nothing worse than a blowout. Huggies Little Snugglers are up to 100% leak-proof with blowout protection in the front and back on sizes 1 and 2. So you can feel confident relying on them for your little ones. Huggies Little Snugglers, now with blowout protection in every direction. Sizes 1 through 2. Huggies, we got you, baby. Okay. Before I shut the fuck up, I need to tell Louie another story because I haven't seen him in so long.
Good or bad?
It's kind of funny.
Okay.
So this one, I was supposed to tell you this story like 2 episodes ago, but I forgot. I forgot, and I just remembered apenas because I walked to the park and I remembered. But Snapchat also saw this in real time.
What?
I went to the fucking park. And I'm breastfeeding my baby.
Uh-huh.
And I get there. It was just me, Ella, and Dante.
Okay.
Dante's my baby. And I was like pushing him. This is when he was like a month old. He was like tiny. And there was literally no one at this little park, just some other little mocosa.
Yeah.
This like 8-year-old. She looked like Travis's age. And Ella was like, Mommy, can I play with her? And I was like, yes, Mommy. Like, go ahead, go play. This little girl reminded me of like a Travis. She was like playing zombie with Ella. And they're like, rah, 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 whatever. And the little girl, she just keeps looking at Dante. She's like, oh my God, your baby. Can I see your baby? Like, she just kept telling me. And I was like, yes, of course. And the parents are like right there on a bench también.
Yeah.
They're keeping their eye, but they're like, having their little combo. And the little girl just keeps wanting to see the baby, which is fine. I'm like, yeah, of course. Until Dante gets hungry. And I was like, oh, there's another little bench. I'm going to use my cover and I'm going to feed him. So I'm sitting down, covered, and I'm feeding the baby. And then she keeps playing with Ella, and then she comes back, and then she was like, "Where's your baby?" I was like, "Oh, right here. He's eating." And she's like, "Can I see him?" And I was like, "No, not right now. He's eating." And then she was like, "Why can't I see him?" And I was like, "Because he's eating." Like I was getting a little like, a little flustered.
Yeah.
I was like, "He's eating," but I don't think she understood that he's like on my titty.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Okay." So she leaves and she keeps playing with Ella. She goes another round. She comes back, Che niña.
Oh.
And she was like, "Can I see your baby?" After I fucking told her no like 1,000 times, right? I'm making this story short because it was a lot longer, but she was like, she gets all cute. She's like, with her little eyes, I'm not even kidding. She's like, "Can I see your baby?" I'm not kidding you. Like, pinches ojitos, estaba fea. I'm just kidding.
Bitch, fuck yeah.
No es cierto. But like her ojito, she's like, "Can I see the baby?" And then I was like, "No." And I was like, "I'm sorry, but he's like eating. I can't right now." Pinche escuincla maldosa. She stares at me, and I didn't know she was gonna fucking do this. But she's just like, "Oh, and I forgot to say, just kidding. I was not wearing my breastfeeding cover that goes around my neck. I forgot it. So I was wearing just a regular blanket that I just had like aquí encima." She's like just staring at me, and then I like just look down. She fucking like grabs her arm and goes, when she takes off the blanket, I was like, "Ah!" Because like my titties are out. I literally yelled. I was like, "Ah!" And the parents heard me yell, and the pinche mocosa, she does that, and then she just runs away. I was like, "Estúpida."
I would have thrown fucking.
But I was just like,
bitch.
like, oh my God. Like, I literally panicked, and Dante was still luckily like on my boobie, but you could still see like my goods.
Yeah, you were literally like,
yes. And she like just yanked it off, and I was like, "Oh my God." Because I did not think she was going to do that.
Yeah.
And then the mom heard me scream. So the mom was like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah. Get over here. Give her personal space, blah, blah, blah."
Mia pa qué?
I don't think the mom realized what her daughter did. I think she was
Bitch,
just
after
like,
hearing you scream, she should have fucking.
I think she just thought like I was getting annoyed or I don't fucking know. I literally yelled. And then not too long after that, they left, and then we left. But I was shook. So I went on Snapchat and I like ranted. I was like, "You guys, like, this is what the fuck just happened to me." And I tell them, and everybody was like, "Nah, fuck that. You should have told that mom. Like, that girl was old enough to
Yeah.
know."
I would have told the mom.
But I feel bad because in my head, I was like, maybe she didn't know. But everybody on my snaps, my messages, they were like, "Nah, fuck that. She knows. What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's like Travis wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and the fact that I even said that she was all cute, like, because I was showing them the video that she was like, "Oh my God, blah, blah, blah," all cutesy. They were like, "No, she's a manipulator."
Yeah, I was gonna say andaba de maldosa. La estúpida.
Pendeja, pero quiso ver mis chichis y las vio y se asustó.
I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
It's like, I know. I would have taken off my shoe.
Yeah, but I had to tell you that story. I kept forgetting to tell you.
Ew.
Why does
That's
everything always
funny.
happen to me?
I was about to say that you always have like the funny, scary, random.
I can never just like chill.
Just live.
I can never live. Todo me pasa.
That's funny.
But enough about me. Tell me about Petty.
Ooh. Okay. So, I have like chisme about my trip that didn't make it into my YouTube video. Bitch, guess how long my YouTube video is?
Is it up yet?
No. Well, it's about to be up right now. But by the time this video is up, it'll be like a week later.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
But that video is like 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Shut up.
It's a whole fucking 2-part sequel. It's insane. But anyways, we went to London and then Paris.
Mm-hmm.
London, I feel like for the most part, it was like pretty fine because they speak English. Although they speak English, it was a little hard sometimes to understand one another because of the accent difference.
They have their like little British accent.
They have an accent, and then believe it or not, obviously people from the US also have an accent to them, I feel, right?
Right.
Because they're probably like, so we couldn't really fully understand each other with certain like
Did you
things.
pick up on their accent?
No, I feel like by the time I could understand them, but there were certain things where I was just like, wait, what? Or I'd be like, wait, sorry, what? And then them to me, like, what? But yeah, so London was pretty fine, but once I got to Paris, that's where I noticed a lot of different things, like just with the people and the way that we do things versus how they do things, and it was just like a huge like, what the? For example, like ice over there is not really like used like we use it here.
Like yellow?
Ice, yeah, like what you eat or not eat, what you use to chill stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like, I mean, I guess even in London, they were like, you guys over there in the US are very much like ice. Like you guys eat ice and you guys want ice and everything. They're like, over here, it's like, if you want a cold drink, it almost feels like they put it in the fridge for a little bit and they give it to you. But it's not like cold because it doesn't have like ice in it. So I was like, huh.
So then your drinks were all hot or what?
Yeah, basically. So then before I went to Paris, I remember watching a bunch of videos because I just wanted to like be informed about going over there because it was my first time out there. Well, pretty much all of our first times out there except for Lene, Marlene. But they were like, don't ask for like an iced coffee because that's not a thing over there. Just all your coffees are gonna be hot. But then I was like, I wonder why it's not a thing. But now that I know, it's because just in general, they don't use ice like that. What? So then I was like, huh. There were some spots where you could find like iced coffee, but that was really random. Also, like they say that we drink a lot of water, way too much water compared to what they drink. So like coming back here, I was like, I needed like a fucking glass of water. And
do
like,
they not drink water?
I guess just not as dramatic.
That's how they stay skinny.
I know, just not as dramatic as how we do, I guess.
I mean,
like,
I thought that was how you survive.
Because I thought it was just an us thing until like, I guess I checked online and people were talking about like, I think because my phone knew I was over there, started showing me a bunch of shit on like my For You page. There's videos that were like me when I come back from Paris or like just drinking water or like an ice cold water. And I was like, what the? But I guess for us, well, maybe because, you know what? Maybe what I can think of is like for them, like how they walk, because they almost walk like everywhere, like everywhere. I feel like for them, they don't feel as like dehydrated as us here that we're like driving almost everywhere and stuff. So we constantly need water to like hydrate. But for them, it's probably like, exagerados.
And what's the weather like over there?
Oh my God, it was fucking hot.
Ay, y pinches lagartijas, no ocupan agua?
And that's the other thing, like AC units is not really a thing, at least from what we heard. In both our Airbnbs in London and in Paris, there was no AC. So I was like,
you guys know.
I was waking up like sweating. Like it was so hot.
I would have slept in the shower.
No, bitch. You would shower with cold ass water because I felt so hot. The moment you turn off the water, I was like sticky all over again.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh my God.
How'd you guys survive that?
Yeah, I always have my fucking my AC on. So like that was really, really hot. Here, what else did I write down?
I love these little fun facts.
Nothing was fucking spicy over there, like at all. And then maybe I'm just dumb and I didn't know, but like in London and in Paris, a lot of the shit that we hear are like illegal over there, like certain
like Red 40,
like Red 40 or whatever, which is what makes shit spicy, is illegal. So they don't have no spicy chips. Like you'll go into a store, like no hot Cheetos, no like Doritos, like spicy, no turbos, like. No spicy stuff.
Is it just like sweet or like salty?
Just like salted, things like that. So I was just like, no tapatio, like nothing like that. One of the flight attendants.
Could you not find hot sauce?
None of the food there is like spicy at all.
Oh my gosh.
And one of the flight attendants on our way there, she was like, did you guys bring a little bag of condiments? And I was like, what? And she was like, you didn't pack your tapatio? And I was like, no. And now I know why she fucking told me that. Because I was like, and then to tell you, like, I hadn't ate spicy food in so long that when I came back and my mom had like carne asada.
Carne asada?
So I put tapatio, bitch. I was like, I feel like my taste buds were like,
they're like, oh shit.
But because of so many, even like their McDonald's and all those things like taste different over there. But I think because of that, I think obviously that's why they appear to be a lot healthier than us. Everyone over there is like super thin and like fit, like running everywhere and like on their bikes, like you see people in like their suits, like going to work and stuff on bikes. And I was just like, I was like, maybe, yeah, I was like, maybe we shouldn't be eating all this shit.
Right.
But it was really weird to be in a country that like, there's no food like here.
Wow.
Like it all tasted like different. Cause even in Mexico, like you get all your spices and like all that stuff. And I was just like, okay, like when I go to Mexico, I almost feel like it's similar. Well, no, the food's better in Mexico, like by 1,000%. But I mean, like spice wise.
Right.
But going over there, I was like, "Babe, I need something spicy." Like,
how was their flavor of like their food? Like when you guys went out?
It was good. I definitely liked the food in Paris better than London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you guys eating?
In Paris, a lot of pasta and pizza. Because I mean, that's what they were known for. Pasta was really yummy at a lot of places that we went to. Pizza was really yummy.
Ooh.
But yeah, even like Taco Bell. Wait, no, not Taco Bell. Like Chick-fil-A is not a thing over there. Obviously not In-N-Out and things like that. But I was just like, it can't ever be a thing over there,
right?
And like one of Andrea's like friends, he's like, I miss the food out here a lot. He's like, I miss Chick-fil-A a lot.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I crave it. And there's nowhere I can have it here.
Oh,
and then I was like,
crazy.
That's when I realized I was like, for somebody who's traveling from over there to here. And if they try all these foods and they love it over there, they're gonna be like, I can't have that. Or like even like buffalo sauce doesn't exist. Well, I couldn't find any buffalo sauce.
My brain is like having like a little cracked out mental thing right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hard to believe because
Yeah.
I've been in this country my whole life. And even when I went to Mexico, it was like a whole new world. So just seeing like a completely different world, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely great. Even like the whole like language stuff, like hearing them speak their language sounded like so beautiful, even though I couldn't understand anything. But even like
what do they speak in what did you say?
In London they speak English, and then in Paris they speak French.
Oh, right. Oh my god, pendeja. I forgot that like Paris is in France.
Yeah, and I felt super mamona when I came back. Cause like I don't know if I've seen those TikToks where people are like, when you have that like friend who was in like Paris or in a different country for so long and they come back and they like still speak and they're like, oh my god, I forgot. Like blah blah. Bitch, when I came back, we were gonna get into our Uber to go back home here. I was gonna say bonjour to the fucking driver, but because
you're already here.
Yes, but over there, like, I mean, we were there for like 6 days, and I feel like we kept saying bonjour to like everybody there because I mean, you're in their country.
What's bonjour?
Just hi.
Oh,
hello.
It's not bye?
I think you could use it as bye as well. No, I think that's au revoir.
Oh, okay.
Au revoir, something. But like being over there, like we obviously don't speak the language like good or fluent or anything. So I feel like the least you can fucking do is learn to say like hello, thank you, goodbye. So I feel like that was just everywhere we'd go. Bonjour, bonjour to like everything.
Bonjour.
And then
I better tell me hello, goodbye, and thank you.
Bitch.
Tell me.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Same word for everything.
So it's bonjour, au revoir, and merci. Merci.
Merci.
Yeah.
It's thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I wanna go.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Oh, wow.
And like I was like, that's the least we could fucking do is at least say hello, thank you, please.
Yeah. I can't imagine you guys being all cute, merci.
Yeah, but you feel weird. Like it's not even as like mamona as you want to feel. Because like I almost felt like stupid.
Like they were like, shut the fuck up.
Because it almost like you'd have to be like, is English okay? Or even Spanish. We'd speak to them in Spanish. Like would
they understand Spanish?
It's sickening over there. Like so many like even at restaurants and stuff like that, they'll speak like Spanish, English, and obviously French.
What?
But I'm like, because over here it's almost like it's
English
sickening if you
Spanish.
can do English and Spanish. But yeah, they speak really well, like all languages. Like we even had like one of our waiters, he was speaking to us in English, but then he was like Spanish, and we're like, oh yeah. So he started speaking to us in Spanish and just telling us that he goes to Mexico all the time and that he loves Mexico.
I love that.
And that it's one of the most funnest countries he's ever been to, and he was like, I can't wait to go back. And he's like traveled so much in Mexico.
Yeah.
But he was just like, it's just such a far flight because it's like 11 hours.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so just a lot of little things like that I was like, oh my god, like this is like crazy. Another thing is that we noticed that a lot of people were staring at us, and us specifically.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't a thing until we all kind of were like, why are a lot of people staring at us? We're like, oh my god, you noticed that too? And like, oh yeah, like
shit.
It was like an internal conversation that we had. Obviously, when we had our cameras out, that's a given. People are gonna stare at us. Like that happens even here.
Right.
Like it's just like, estos qué.
Uh-huh.
But even when we didn't have like our cameras out or anything, a lot of people were like staring at us, and I was like, I don't know if it's because like we obviously don't look like we're not from here, but like I don't know. Like even at the clubs, like as soon as you walked in, it was like,
they just stared at you guys.
Yeah, but it's like not even like a smiley thing. It was just kind of like dead serious, and like you could like lock eyes with them to see if they would look away, and it's like, and there was other tourists too, but it's just like
I think it's because from an outsider's perspective.
Y'all are ugly.
No, the opposite. I think you guys are very like attractive people. Like
thanks.
all of you as a whole, individually, you guys are so like beautiful individually.
But
as a little group, like Marlene, Adam, you, Fern, Andrea, everybody, you guys are just so like pretty.
Thank you.
So from an outsider's perspective, no, it's just like seeing a big group of like very attractive people. You're like, what the fuck? Some people might feel maybe intimidated, or some people might be like, ¿Estos qué de dónde vienen? Or qué? Or like just
I feel like that's what it was giving.
People's attention, like, ¿Estos qué?
It was giving, ¿Y estos qué? So it was just like, because people, I mean, nobody was ever mean to us out there. Like nobody was ever like, bleh, or like nothing, but it's just like a lot
in Miami.
I see. Right. It was just a lot of like people staring, and it was a little like,
And then I saw sorry to cut you off.
No.
I saw your guys' outfits. You guys were
see.
all dressed super
Oh,
good.
I really tried.
Yeah, all of you, I could tell all of you tried with your outfits. So I was like, oh, like just imagine all of you in a bolita dressed all cute. They're probably like, ooh, you know?
Yeah.
Like think about it.
Yeah, because people weren't being mean, but it was just like a little like uncomfy. Part of me was just like, is it because we're all like Latinas? Or I don't know. But
Maybe that too.
the thing that put that into my head is this crazy conversation that we had, y'all. So we were all at a bar. And
Okay.
again, there was so many tourists here. So many.
What did the tourists look like?
White.
Oh, never
It
mind.
was like 99% white.
Oh, okay, then maybe it was because you were Latina.
So this is what put that into my head. This was the second night in, I don't remember if it was London or Paris, but their second night. And this was like a really weird thing. So I feel like everybody was staring at us and we're about to leave this bar. And this guy stops like Andrea. And they were like, oh, like, where are you guys from?
Oh,
like
Andrea's
that.
so pretty. I can imagine her just like,
I know, yeah. But that was literally what they just told her. Where are you guys from? Just like that. Not even hi, hello, nothing like that. And then I was like, oh, we're from like California. And then he's like, are you guys Hispanic? Or I think he asked, are you guys Mexican? And Andrea was like, yes. And then he was like, I knew it. And then Andrea was like, okay. Because it's like, what do you mean? Like, that's like the first conversation you have.
Right, okay.
And then he tells his buddy, like, hey, what's up? And he had a bet on us on whether we were Mexican or not. And then I was like, so then that's what put into my head. I was like, are people staring at us because we're like, we look Mexican, which is not a bad thing. But I was just like, that's such a weird bet to have with somebody.
Do you think they're used to Mexicans going there?
And then that's what put it into my head. I was like, maybe like, because there's definitely were a lot of Hispanic, like Latinos, because I heard, but I don't know if I would say I saw a lot of Mexicans because I heard other Latinos, but they weren't speaking like our Spanish.
Okay.
It was like,
then maybe Mexicans are just distinct to them.
Very distinct.
Oh,
Yeah, but no, so I was just like, So I kind of put it in my head.
He
and
didn't
like,
give you any more context? Like, that's it was just the bait, yeah?
Andrea fucking told them their whole life story. She was like, oh, like, we're from California, but I live in Berkeley. He lives over here. And my family lives over here.
Andrea.
And I was like, Andrea, I was like, this is a fucking, like, random. What do you mean I'll give him his social and shit? And Andrea, I told Andrea, I was like, Andrea, that was a lot of information. You could have literally just been like, yeah, we're Mexican. That's it.
Pinche Andrea.
But it's Andrea was like, oh. But it's because we
Nea.
genuinely all were so excited to have conversations with people from these countries.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things that I was so excited for was to meet people from there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the guy wasn't rude or it wasn't anything bad. He wasn't like big or like nothing like that at all. But it was just such a weird thing. Like had to have a bet on us. And then like, I told you. Or like the other guy was betting that we were I'm not even gonna fucking make one up, but he was betting something different.
But also Hispanic.
No, it wasn't Hispanic.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't even I remember, but I've heard it a lot. But I was just like, no, I don't even want to butcher it. Yeah, but that one, and then another time, like we went out to a club and some other girl, she was having a normal conversation with us. She's like, are you guys Mexican? And I was like, yeah. But it was just like, what the heck? Like, I mean, I love that, like, you can tell us
that we're Mexican.
I love it. But it was just like such a weird, like, conversation. It was just weird how it was brought up all the time.
Right.
And another one, we were like, me and Fern were buying like a little perfume from like a little like stand at a little market.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, where are you guys from? We're like, oh, California. He's like, no, I mean like ethnicity. I was like, oh, like I'm Mexican. And then he was like, oh, nice. He's like, I knew it. And I was like, me? But it was just like
I saw your mustache.
I know. Like all fucking
like, are you a don?
For real.
Are you a señor?
Like Cantinflas? All right.
Bitch.
But like there's nothing wrong with it. It was just such a weird
that they could just pinpoint you.
Or
were
just
you
like,
guys speaking Spanish? Did they
we were
hear
speaking
you?
Spanish a lot, but like at some points we weren't. It was just like a thing that was just like they would bring it up, and I was like, okay. But like for example, the girl that asked us at the club, she's like, oh my god, I love Mexicans. She's like, I wish I was Mexican, and then like, yeah, I was like, But like,
do you?
It almost just made me like while we were there, just kind of be like, well, how many are like thinking about us? Like when they were staring, I was like, is everybody just like?
They're like, look, Mexican.
I know. So I was just like,
hey. We've never seen them outside their country.
Yeah, bitch. I was just like,
Wait, you know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you remember. I don't really travel anywhere, right? But I went to Miami one time and one time only with Louie and Marlene. And I think Adam went with us too. Mm-hmm. Whatever. We went. No, Adam didn't go with us.
Oh, no, he didn't.
No. Addie's. We went to the club.
Oh, I
And
remember.
we were at this like little bar, and me and Marlene, we were like drinking, and the bartenders too, they're like looking at us and they're like, "Are you guys Mexicans?"
I remember
And me and
this.
Marlene were like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, chole."
Yeah,
like,
they start-
"Cabrón,
Yeah.
hijo de tu chingada." Like,
We're like,
in Miami, and me and Marlene were like, "What?" We're like, "What the fuck?" He's like, isn't that how you guys speak?" And we were just like, "No." And we just got our drinks and walked
Ahora sí,
away.
cabrón.
We're like, "A ver, chingada madre."
Yeah. It's very much like, it wasn't in a bad way. Like, nobody ever made us feel like bad or uncomfortable, but it was just like, again, it was just like such a weird like conversation to be thrown at us.
Yeah.
But
Unexpected.
I think it was also feeling like a little like, for me, because the only other country that I visited is Mexico, where like over there, the reaction I would get was like, your Spanish is really good. And I was like, oh, like that's a compliment. I loved hearing that. But to
Yeah.
be in a country like that, where I guess being Mexican is not like, obviously we're not in fucking Mexico, so they don't see Mexicans like all the time.
Uh-huh.
But I was just like, this is different. Like, just like, he's Mexican. I was like, me. I was like, hi, how are you? I was like, bonjour. All right, I was scared. I know, merci. Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, another one that I just remembered. A lot of places, because thanks to you, I feel like I drink a lot of coffee now.
Yay!
And over there, oat milk is not such a big thing.
So you had chorro.
Basically.
Oh my god.
Maybe not that oat milk is not a big thing, but more like a lot of like coffee shops don't have it. But there was days where I was like dying and I needed energy because we were walking so much. Like,
Oh, so you just weren't drinking coffee.
I was trying to avoid it, but then the last few days, I mean, towards the end of the trip, like I think the second to last day, I found a place that had like oat milk. But a lot of times I was just avoiding it and I was so tired and I was like, I need coffee.
Why didn't you get soy milk or almond?
Well, I'm new. I didn't know that shit was a thing. So I was just like, oh. No, but a lot of them didn't even have like alternative, or maybe they did, but a lot of them were just like, just whole milk. And I was like,
Oh shit.
yeah. So like it was literally like my stomach was like,
You're like, what about breast milk? at
I
least?
know, I'm like water. But
Damn.
yeah, so I couldn't drink coffee for most of the days until I found finally a spot. And the one spot that I found that had oat milk was like a super gentrified like coffee shop that it was like catered to like fucking
For
tourists.
the tourists.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh, why the fuck didn't I think to check here? Because we were going to all like the little like mom and pop. Well, not mom and pop, but like the ones that looked a little more
Like
authentic.
local. Oh,
yeah.
I love that. That's cuter. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they were just like, bitch. Just
We don't have
milk.
that. And in case you guys don't know, me and Louie are lactose intolerant.
Yes.
So we need we don't drink whole milk because then nightmares will happen.
It was funny because over there too, I think this was in London. I got ice cream, and then I had stomach problems the whole day. And then I was like, oh, it was a fucking, because I had ate like this chicken and pesto pasta thing. And I was like, it was a fucking pesto pasta, fucking pit. And then I was like, it was your ice cream. And I was like, and it like made the connection. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really eat ice cream like that crazy. But then I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, it was a fucking ice cream. I was like, I
Yeah.
forgot to obviously make that connection. But anyways, I have Chisme on
Or cheese.
the happiest place on earth.
Don't talk to me.
Or should I
blocked him.
say, or maybe I got karma. All right. Or
Ándale.
should I say the bitchiest place on earth?
What do you mean the bitchiest place?
Let me tell you the Chisme.
Snow White and Cinderella. We're like,
Yeah, I wish.
What happened?
So, all right.
I want to know.
So while we were over there, we all really wanted to go to Disney. If anybody has been to Disney Paris, tell me if you experienced otherwise or if it was just the day that we went for whatever reason. But I wouldn't say it was as magical as it is here.
Shut up.
Yeah, and it's obviously I'm not trying to just fucking throw hate. Let me fucking explain. So pulling up to Disney Paris, it's very beautiful. Like it's different from ours. I feel like their little build-ups of everything there like super cute. Like there's a lot of time and effort that has gone into like the little structures that they have there, like the little casitas and like just everything looks so
Do
pretty.
you know if that one's owned by Disney?
I don't know actually.
Okay, because you know the one in Tokyo or one in Japan is not owned by Disney. It's
I
Disney,
didn't
but
know
it's
that.
not owned by Disney.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe if anybody knows
Do
information,
you guys
hit
know
me
if
up.
it's owned by Disney, the one in Paris?
But
Fact
this
check.
one, there wasn't much of like a Disney spirit. You know how like I've been to Disneyland here in California a million times since we were little. If y'all missed this in a previous episode, my parents made it a tradition where when we were little, we would go to Disney every fucking year. That
Once
was
a year.
our family getaway vacation.
And it was
every time.
always during November.
November,
Mhm.
always, because it was also like your and Andrea's birthday. Always.
Yeah.
Like we already knew in November we're going to Disney. It was a tradition for fucking years.
Yeah.
And I've been to Disney so many times, and even now, every time I go, the moment you step into Disney, you're like, I'm in Disney World.
Right.
Like you see everybody in their ears and their clothes, their backpacks. Like that is your time to bring out all your Disney merch.
Right.
And I'm not even a fucking Disney adult. I'm just somebody who goes to Disney. And it's like you step into Disneyland.
It's a whole little world.
Over here, when I stepped in, I was like,
What do you mean?
I was fucking like dead. I went at like,
¿No había nadie?
I got there at like 12 in the afternoon and it was pretty dead. Like the whole time I kept saying like, it's really dead, you guys. And what's it called? Like you're walking around, nobody really has like Disney merch. Nobody had like ears. It was like, it was like so much. Like I was super excited to like buy ears there. But there was little to no spots that were selling ears. You know how here there's so many fucking Disney like ears
everywhere
that you're like, oh, I can't. Oh, my ears. Oh, let me see these. It was like little to no ears. I ended up buying ears like at the end, but I don't even wear them because nobody was really wearing them. So I just kind of held them in my bag. And nobody really had like Disney merch or Disney backpacks. Like not saying that you need to, but just seeing how it is
Like
from
the
here to over
difference.
there. I was like, It almost just felt like I was in an amusement park, not
didn't
so
feel
much
like
like
Disney?
Disneyland. Besides me being in the fucking castle. But other than that, I was like, And then
I'm all getting mad. I'm like,
I know it was different for me to
Huh.
experience from like here to you wear all your fucking Disney merch to over there.
Yeah.
Again, if y'all have been to Disneyland Paris and you experienced something different, hit me up because I'm really curious to know if it was just the date that we went.
Mm-hmm.
But the lines were pretty short. There was not a lot of people. What else did I experience out there? The parks were kind of small. They weren't
How many
like
parks was there?
it was just two. It's
Oh, okay.
basically like here we have Disneyland and California Adventure. Over there is the same thing, but they were pretty small. There was not a lot of rides. Like I think in their California Adventure was only 7 rides.
Huh.
And then in their Disneyland, there was a lot more, but it was mostly like kind of like kiddie rides.
Okay.
It was really cool to experience. So I still had so much fun and I loved experiencing Disney, but it was just like different.
Was it more expensive than here?
No, oh my god, that. I don't know if it's because it's smaller that it was way cheaper. So for 2 parks, to do the park hopper for one day, it was $120.
What the
Bitch, that was like our prices here in fucking 2005.
Right. Here
Right now it's like
so
200
expensive.
something, no?
For a park hopper, it's like over 200 for
Yeah,
sure.
and you have to book it in advance. Here we booked it the day before and it was $120 and I was like,
You're like, okay.
Yeah, and then like their downtown Disney was like not like our downtown Disney was like huge and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very different. But the reason I wanted to say the bitchiest place on earth is because the workers were so mean.
That's what I was going to say. Was it the workers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a tourist thing where they're just like fucking tourists or something. I don't know. But obviously, we all know that you are not allowed to film on rides. That is like Disneyland will never tell you like you can film on rides because it is a liability issue or something happens like you can obviously sue them. So they're like, bitch, don't even try it. We told you no phones. It's in their rules. It's everything. No phones.
Yeah.
But don't even fucking try it and tell me that y'all aren't filming on the rides. Like everybody films like so many like even montages on TikTok where they're like Disney, you're like on fucking cars and you're like in the
Yeah.
Tower of Terror. Oh, and they still have the OG Tower of Terror, which was really cool.
Really?
Yeah, they had the OG one. So it was
I
really
love
cool.
that.
So like don't even try and tell me that y'all are not filming on there. But if somebody specifically tells you don't film, I won't film. Like
Okay.
if like I'm on a ride and they're like, hey, no cameras, no phones, I'm like, oh, they said it, they clocked the T, I'm not even gonna try it.
Mm-hmm.
So unless somebody actually tells me that, I'm like, I'm gonna record.
Right.
So we were getting on the Tower of Terror. And we were so excited, and I think they saw with our little vlog cameras, because obviously we're vlogging while we're out
Yeah.
there. So then one of the workers, as we're about to like sit down, she's just speaking to like the crowd, right? And she's like, no phones and no cameras, just like that. And we're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I put my camera away.
Yeah.
And then Marlene was recording, but then
Marlene.
Marlene was like, oh shit, okay. So then she tries to turn off her camera. But we have the, what are those cameras called? The Osmo.
The DJI
DJI?
Osmo.
So
DJI Osmo.
if y'all don't know, these little tiny little cameras. I love it. It's super easy to vlog with
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But that camera can be really fucking annoying sometimes. Like the little cabecita will start
Pinche
filming all over the world and you
yes.
can't like control it. But also, if you guys don't know, this camera you can film obviously regular, which is vertical. But you can also film horizontal. Like if you're doing like a TikTok, it'll still film.
Yeah.
And sometimes these fucking cameras glitch a lot.
Uh-huh.
So Marlene, when the lady was like, oh, no recording, Marlene tried to turn it off. But the way to turn off these cameras, you have to make it go from horizontal to vertical. That's how you turn it off. But sometimes it glitches and it stays on as it's vertical. So Marlene turned it off and tried putting it away. But this is when the lady's like, no cameras and no recording. And she's just like looking around and she says it again. No cameras and no recording. And then Marlene's like still trying to turn that stupid bitch off.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no cameras and no recording to Marlene. So then Marlene's like, bitch. So then at this point, I don't even remember because it was so like awkward at first. So Marlene's like panicking, trying to turn it off. So Marlene's like turning it on and off, on and off. And the stupid camera won't turn off because when it's going to turn off, it shows you a little 3, 2, 1 clock countdown.
Yeah.
So Marlene's like, she's like, I'm trying. Like she's literally saying like, I'm trying. And the lady is like now at this point just staring at Marlene and basically like just repeating, no cameras and no recording.
That's so
And Marlene's
awkward.
like, bitch, like trying to turn it off. And everybody's just waiting. Like even me, I'm like looking at Marlene struggle. And I'm like, so at this point, the lady like looks at Marlene and says it again. And Marlene's like, sorry, like I'm trying to turn it off. But I think from like an outside viewer, I feel like she probably just thought there's like an on and off button that you can turn off.
Oh, because they don't know these new cameras.
Or maybe she just thought Marlene was being annoying and I couldn't turn, but Marlene was like struggling to like, turn it on and off. And the lady looks at Marlene and goes like that. Rolls her fucking eyes at Marlene. And I was just like, bitch. Like I actually got a little scared because I've never seen like being at Disneyland here, you have to go, well, I don't know if it's the same thing over there, but you go to like Disney school and shit, like they're not really mean or anything.
Right.
If anything, they'll be like, hey, can you get off the ride? And like, that's fine. Like if she literally got annoyed, she could have told Marlene like, hey, can you get off the ride? And Marlene would have been like, Like, you can't argue with them. And especially, like I said, if they're telling you like, don't record, it's just like, bitch, put your phone away, you know? So, when she rolls her eyes at Marlene, I was like, because it wasn't even like
I'm picturing like a Miss Trunchbull over here.
It wasn't even like a little like, it was a full on like that, like literally eye twitch as it's rolling. And I was like, bitch. Because I was like, what the heck? So she goes on a phone and starts like calling somebody. And I'm thinking like, oh, she's gonna call a manager to like get Marlene off. But then I was like, you could have literally just been like, hey, like you need to get off the ride. Like I told you not to record. Even if Marlene was struggling, whatever, maybe just get her off the ride. But then she like, as she's on the phone, the doors closed to the ride. And Marlene was like, so at this point, Marlene just has her camera off and like away. We just enjoy the rest of the ride. And I'm not gonna even fucking front. So after they told us all to put our cameras away, we all put our cameras away. While we're all the way at the top, Fern decides to take out his phone to like take a picture. And then I was like, great. As we're all the way up there, like, and at that point I was like, fuck, because I know the reason I say like, obviously if they tell you not to record, like just, well, one, put it away because they're obviously telling you. And two, it is a liability issue. And like in that ride specifically, I'm like, I could see why they would tell us like, don't try it. Because if your phone fucking flies, like it's
and it can like hit someone.
Yes, because it's a little cage.
Right.
So I was like, that's probably why they specifically told us not to record on this ride. But Fern takes out his phone, takes a picture, and then I was like, great. Because I know they have cameras so they could see us inside. So that wasn't the issue. But as soon as the doors open, bitch, I expected the lady to be there and like kind of tell us something. As soon as the doors open, this fucking dude comes out like head and he's like, he's like, you two right here, no recording, blah, and like yelling at us. And I was like, but he was looking at me and Marlene and like yelling at me and Marlene. And I was like, we weren't recording because at this point I'm like, okay, like I'm actually a little scared right now.
What the fuck?
And I was like, we weren't recording. He's like, yes, you two, I saw you, YouTube up. And I was like, we're not recording. So then I take out my camera from my pocket. And then I was like, do you want to see? Like, I have no footage of this. And Marlene too, she was like, my camera wasn't on. And then, oh wait, I forgot to say this. Sorry. Backtracking. So when the lady was like telling Marlene shit to like turn off the camera, everybody in the ride was kind of like,
like awkward crickets.
Almost like the lady's doing too much. Because they were like everybody was looking at us like she's doing too much. Like everybody was just like, like why is it that serious too? And then when she rolled her eyes, everybody was looking at Marlene like, bitch, like, okay, I don't know what that was. So then one of the guys, I guess, kind of was like, bitch, when she like rolled her eyes, because he was kind of giving her like, you're doing way too much. Like, and like he literally looked at her when she rolled her eyes and he was like, are you serious right now? Because it was such like middle school stuff for her
Pinche
to like go and roll
dramática.
her eyes. And I think everybody saw that she was trying to turn it off.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, fast tracking when he's like yelling at me and Marlene, I was like, at this point, I got a little like frustrated because I was like, okay, if you told Fern shit, like, sorry to throw booty under the bus, but if you told Fern shit, like, by all means, like, regáñalo. He took a picture.
Sí.
But he specifically was telling shit to me and Marlene and was yelling at us in front of everybody. So I
my
felt like
God.
uncomfortable. I was like, babe, why are you yelling at me? Like, so then again, once I get off, I tell him.
The ride was already over.
Yeah, so he started yelling at us as soon as the ride was over. Like the doors barely open.
Ya,
And
pa'
he
qué
was like,
baboso, ya, déjanos ir. Like, what?
yeah, but I was like, he probably is really frustrated thinking that we were like, hey, 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 and we still recorded. So then I was trying to be like, we weren't recording. So then as soon as we got off, I go up to him after les dio la pinche regañada del mundo. And I turn on my camera. I'm like, look, I wasn't recording, like, to show him. Because I was like, dude, you just yelled at me in front of everybody and I didn't do anything.
Like, pinches niños en una escuela?
Yeah. So then I show him. And then he was like, he's like, the next time you do that, you get out, get out. And I was like, I didn't record anything. And this time he's like on my face because I'm trying to show him he's yelling at me still. And I was like, don't yell at me. I was like, you can talk to me in a calm manner. And I'm trying to explain to you that I'm not recording. And he's still yelling at me. So I tell him again, don't yell at me.
Ándele,
Because
pendejo.
I literally felt like he was treating me, and we were like the same fucking age, but he was treating me like if I was a fucking like 2-year-old who just shat in the fucking like
What the fuck?
ride. So I was like, why are you yelling? I was like, I didn't record.
Oh.
And Marlene didn't record. I was like, so then Marlene's trying to show his camera too. So then after that, I was like, I'm over it. So then I walk away. But I was just frustrated over the whole thing that like we didn't record and like he was yelling at us and like Fern did take a picture. But I was like, at that point, like, regaña Fern. But even at that
Fern
point.
just in the back was like.
No, I know Fern was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, también vas a ver. But I was just more mad that like, it almost was giving that they didn't even see Fern taking the picture. They just, I almost feel like the lady got annoyed at telling Marlene to put the camera away and then called the manager and was like, they're going to record. So then the manager probably came and like just assumed that we were recording and like told us off.
Okay.
But
Ew, I hate
after that whole thing, I literally did feel like a little like, babe, because I was like, why the fuck would they like yell at me? Like I wasn't even
Yeah.
recording. And then like, even at that, like I am always will say the number one thing I always say to people when they're trying to start an argument with me, this has happened to me at the gym. This has happened to me out in public. This has happened to me obviously now at Disney. I fucking hate when people yell. There is no reason to yell. Anybody can have a normal conversation and you can get your point across with having a conversation.
Without having to yell.
If he literally thought that we were recording, he could have simply been like, let me see your guys' camera. And then like either prove to him that we weren't recording, or if we were recording, him be like, you guys need to leave the park. Then at
or
that
like
point,
a little regañada, right?
Yeah.
Without having to yell.
or say I was recording and he was like, you guys need to get out. I would have been like, well, like I fucked up. Like I obviously went against what they were telling me. But like, I never understand what people are trying to get out when they're yelling. So for me to be in front of his face and him yelling at me like I was a kid, I was like, why are you yelling?
Yeah.
So then I had to I was talking to him so normal, but I had to stand my ground and I was like, don't yell at me. Like literally was like on his face. So I was like, why the fuck are you yelling at me? I was like, I'm
hold
right
up.
here. Yeah, and that happens to me a lot with so many conversations with people, even like grown as adults, where like they'll start yelling and I'm like, breathe. We can have a conversation. You tell me what I did wrong or what you think I did wrong and I'll apologize or I'll fix it or like what the fuck is going on. But you do not need to yell at me.
Right.
Y me dio más vergüenza that he yelled at us in front of all these people. And when people were getting out of the ride, even somebody was like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like they even apologized, like being like, they did way too much. Because I think even the people in the ride were like, you guys weren't recording.
Right.
And like everybody in there was like more like adult vibes too. So I feel like they saw us as like mocosos. So to kind of get like that treatment. But even somebody was like they just kind of went like, after like that whole thing happened. So I was like, okay, like I'm not crazy then because
they were probably just doing way too fucking much.
Yeah, I was just like, we literally weren't recording. So that wasn't a cutesy little experience at Disney. And I just got really like pissed. But what got me more pissed too was like how the lady like rolled her eyes at Marlene and stuff. And I was just like, yeah.
And I totally get you guys in that scenario. I would have done like literally everything you guys did because I feel like as angry as I would have been, I feel like I wouldn't have said anything because I wouldn't have wanted to get kicked out of Disney. I would have been like, hey,
well, that's
stay
why
calm.
while we were in the seats, like we weren't even arguing with her. Marlene was fully trying to turn it off, and I was just sitting there like watching her like struggle, and everything was fine. That whole regañada of her being like turned off, I was like, I get it. Like she probably thinks Marlene's like trying to like record and stuff. But then the whole eye rolls where I was like, bitch. I was like, okay.
Pinche amargada fea.
I was
She's
like,
jealous.
if you were that mad, like, just kick her off. All
I
right.
know,
Marlene's like,
for
wait.
real. That could have been like an easier solution. You shouldn't have to give her all that fucking attitude.
Yeah. So that was enough for me to be like, mood, like, what the fuck?
Did any other employees give you guys a hard time?
No. Oh, well, no, actually. No, I was confusing that with something else. But no, nobody else in there was like mean or anything. It was just like the whole experience. There wasn't really much like Disney spirit vibes.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so like I feel like it would have been fun, obviously, for you to still experience it. Like the kids, I feel like they would love it. But just like the whole like Disney adult like shit is not like I feel like
not
it's
a thing. That's
there.
probably just a thing in like California and the one in Florida.
And I hear that I feel like over there it's more of like just an amusement park. Like, oh, this is so cool.
It's not
but
such
like
a big thing.
not such like a grand thing.
I saw that you posted a little bit of the Ratatouille ride.
Oh my god, okay. That is the one that made the whole thing worth it for me.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that was a thing. They have a whole like fucking Ratatouille world there.
Oh.
So they had Gustos and they had Ratatouille and they had like a bunch of little booths with like food inspired by the movie. They have a Ratatouille restaurant where you actually get to eat the food from the movie Ratatouille. You get to have the famous Ratatouille. But I guess it's booked like months in advance.
No way.
So
Can you take me, man?
Yeah, it was so fucking like cool. We didn't get to go in there, but the ride was so fucking fun. It was a 10 out of 10.
What kind of ride is it?
The
like
same
a screen?
thing, the same thing as Nothing Can Stop Us Now.
Oh, really?
Literally like that copy and paste version. But it's so cool because they put you in the perspective as if you're a rat.
Oh.
So you're like running away from like all the work and you're like in these little like rat things. So everything looks huge and you're as if you're like a little rat.
Oh, I love that.
So that ride made it like a 100 million out of 10 for me. It was so fun.
This year for sure, because last year I tried, but I got pregnant. For sure, we're going to Disney World. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
We're going because I need to go experience that since I can't go to Paris just yet. I can go to Disney World.
I did also was like, I wonder why our California Disney is not as big. Because I was like, I feel like a lot of people go there.
Right.
But then someone from like the UK was like, I think it's because if anybody's traveling to go to Disney in the US, it's the closest one is usually Florida. So like anybody from like the UK or Paris or anything like that trying to fly over here would go to Florida because it's right there.
That makes sense why that one's Disney World.
Yes. And I was like, literally that was me. It connected all the dots because I was like, it would be a fucking, instead of like a 11-hour flight, it would be like a 7-hour flight? Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Instead of having to go all the way to California.
Like if you want to
just
specifically go to Disney. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, that makes sense why they put so much money into that one and it's so much bigger.
Go.
Yeah. But the castle was insane. It was fucking beautiful.
I saw.
You can actually go inside.
So pretty.
And then I feel like a dumbass because everybody's like, did you not go downstairs to see the dragon? I was like, what?
There was a dragon?
I guess you go downstairs and you see like Maleficent or Aurora, whoever the fuck the dragon is.
Maleficent.
Yeah, and I was like, what the
pendejo.
heck? I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, that was my experience in Disney and Paris. I'm still very curious if anybody has gone to Disneyland Paris, if you felt like it was pretty empty and if like the whole Disney adult world thing is not a thing over there, or if that was just the day that we
Maybe
decided.
the day.
Because we went on Saturday.
And that's weird too because it's summer.
And it was Saturday, bitch. So I was like, maybe people. But then again, I guess I could get it. Maybe people don't go to Paris to go to Disney. I don't know. But
Fucking tell us the tea on that.
Yeah, let me know if you guys have been. 'Cause a lot of people are like, oh, I've been there. So I want to know.
Another question.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I saw that Marlene posted that it was like fucking raining super hard and y'all were like, la, la, la.
We weren't, only she was. It stormed so bad. We were like out. It was like we were recording the Eiffel Tower every time, like from 9 to 12, it'll sparkle at the beginning of every hour for like 5 minutes. As soon as the 5 minutes were over, it was like,
no way.
Like, nah. It was so bad. Poor Andrea, she was wearing a skirt and like a tube top. It was all fucking see-through and it was wet as fuck. Fern was hella wet and like it was really bad.
I probably would have been super happy. You guys know if you don't know, I love the rain.
Yeah.
So that looked like a vibe. I would have been like,
I really was trying to enjoy it, but seeing how Andrea was like, I was like, I can't enjoy. I need a car now. It was so bad, and nobody was picking us up, so it was crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but Marlene was like,
you guys are like perritos mojados.
Yeah, Marlene was all happy. We were like, great.
That would have been me, like, yay!
Yeah, but that was my experience. It was fun, and yeah.
It sounds like a fun trip, and you have to take me.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Would you go to Paris again?
100%.
Disneyland Paris.
I would go if like
You have to
let's
take
say-
me.
Yeah, like I would go if like somebody wanted to go, like you or like my parents or somebody like, okay, like I'm down again. But for me to go over there and be like, I'm going to Disney, like,
Por esa pinche vieja.
I know, see her again, be like, bonjour.
Like,
Just kidding.
remember me?
I know.
You bring out your camera. Ding.
I know. I'm like, remember this? I'm just kidding. I
She
should have
beats you with
recorded
it.
her actually. I'm
You
like,
guys should have recorded. Be like, what'd you say?
I know. Like, do the eye roll again.
You're gonna go viral.
For real, huh?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I definitely would go back to Paris. It was such a beautiful experience. So was London.
I love that.
But yeah, it was a great time. Damn, this episode was full of just stories.
I know. I loved it. I love when episodes are this juicy.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about all of our scary stories. And if you guys see Yoatzi's pictures, give us your opinions on that. Because those were scary.
Yeah, we're posting those. And also, you guys, I think, let me know in the comments down below. No, I'm just kidding. Let us know. Is next episode our 100th episode?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
Guys, we're about to hit 100 episodes. That's fucking crazy. We take shots.
Oh my God, wait.
What?
What if we do an episode like where we get drunk?
Yes, and we
Like
have a party.
ask each other the questions that they like juicy ass questions and we get drunk.
Let's do it.
Or let us know what you guys would want to see for our 100th episode.
Hey, get drunk. I could get drunk now.
For real? Oh, wait, yeah, literally, because you couldn't drink before.
Yes, I couldn't drink before.
Y'all let us know what you want to see for our 100th episode, because that's crazy, 100 episodes.
I can't believe that.
I know.
But thank you guys so for all the love and support.
And for tuning in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, don't forget to fucking subscribe, eh?
Yes, or else we're not going to hit 100 episodes. I'm just kidding.
We'll see
Thank
you guys next time.
Bye.